Shabbat Pikudei. We are just coming to the conclusion of 5 Parshiot, with which we really conclude Sefer Shmot. Truma, Tetzaveh, Kitisa, Vayakel, and Pikudei. And all of these Parshiot have as their major motif the Mishkan, the sanctuary. Now it's very, very clear that the sanctuary was created as a house for the Torah. The Shnei Luchot HaBrit, the 2 tablets of stone, which are within the Aron Kodesh, the Holy Ark, and the Mishkan, or the task of the Mishkan, is to guard the Torah, to house the Torah. But it's deeper than that. Let's begin with the Ramban. The Ramban, of course, emphasizes the fact that the Mishkan was made for the Torah. What is really central to the Mishkan, that was the place where God met with Moshe Rabbeinu when the cloud was on the top of the Mishkan, encompassed the Mishkan. God was over the Mishkan, and God was revealing the Torah before it was written down to Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe Rabbeinu would then teach the Torah, which we call Torah Shebichtav, the written Torah, the 10 commandments, but each commandment standing for a number of mitzvot. So it was all the commandments of the Torah that God revealed to Moshe Rabbeinu, and then Moshe Rabbeinu to the Jewish people. Further than that, the Mishkan was the model for our Beit Olamim, our holy temple. And in the holy temple, each of the Batei Mikdash, there was the office of the hewn stone, Lishkat HaGazit, where the Sanhedrin sat, and the great rabbis and teachers who interpreted the Torah for all the generations. So fundamentally, I would say, according to the Ramban, you have to see the Mishkan as a kind of yeshiva from which Torah emanated to all of Israel. And God spoke between the cherubs, the kruvim of the Mishkan. In other words, God spoke through the great rabbis of every generation. That's not the view of the Zohar HaKadosh. And it's not the view of Chassidut. Their view is that the Mishkan, the sanctuary, was a Beit Chatnut, the house of the marriage between God and the Jewish people. You remember the prophetic words, which we say when we put on our tefillin. God says to Israel, Ve'erastich li la'olam, I will betroth you unto me forever. Ve'erastich li b'tzedek u'v'mishpat u'v'chesed u'v'rachamim, I will betroth thee unto me, Israel, with righteousness and compassion and faithfulness. Ve'erastich li be'emunah v'yodat et Hashem, I will betroth you unto me in faithfulness, and you shall love God. The Mishkan was the familial home between God and Israel. And here the idea is also, how can we how can God make certain that the Jewish people throughout the generations will learn Torah? Not necessarily the way the Ramban saw it, by means of yeshivot, but rather by means of familial home, of mishpacha. V'shinantam livanecha, you shall teach your children diligently. V'dibarta bam, you shall speak Torah with your children. V'higadeta levincha, you shall teach your children. And just look at what the Mishkan had. Certainly the Aron with the Torah. The menorah kiner mitzvah v'torah or. The menorah which was the light of Torah and the light of the commandments. And a shulchan, a table with the showbread. A table because it's in the Jewish table every Shabbat and the Jewish familial table every festival, the best way through which Torah goes from generation to generation. And there's one difference between the Ramban's notion that the Torah is disseminated by the rabbis and the Zohar's notion the Torah is disseminated best within families. For the rabbis, the most important thing is, of course, logic and intellect and deep intellectual understanding. For family, the most important thing is love. And the Torah, through love and of love, being given over from generation to generation. And I believe that it's that ideal of Hasidism that is the most effective way of teaching Torah. Familially,